Hi, everybody. Welcome to this little webinar on trees and aromatherapy. My name is Melissa Zelenak. I am from Northern Michigan. I am delighted to be with you today. And this is the first time I've done a webinar voiceover thing, so bear with me while I learn how this thing works. So let's go. Just take a minute here, everybody, and look at that path. Just imagine you're walking down it, getting a few steps in, take a big breath. Smell that. Maybe it's a little after rain, it's a little damp, it's a little warm. You can feel it's moist or cool, warm in the sunshine. Okay, so it's feeling good, right? You're using your nose, your senses are engaged, you're in the woods, you're doing aromatherapy. Okay, so 6 things we're going to learn today: why trees are important, 4 kinds of trees, what is aromatherapy, how trees are beneficial to our health, tree and human correlations, using oil safely. You don't want to, be a dork and get hurt. So let's pay attention when we get to that point. And we'll do some Q&A. Probably not, because this is a webinar. So I'm just going to cut her off at the end. All right. So the importance of forests, biodiversity and the role in the ecosystem. People forget all, or maybe take for granted, I should say, the importance of trees. They sequester carbon, animals live there. They're a source for us to live. We wouldn't have houses without trees, right? Lots of important things. Furniture, the desk that you're watching this video from. In northern Michigan, we have mostly hardwood forests. There's orchards and whatnot, but hardwood forests they're dominated by those deciduous trees. They'll lose their leaves, and they're really important in the biodiversity. They and the conifers and the orchards and all the trees we have are just what makes northern Michigan really special and cool. The economic importance, especially in the little area where I live, in terms of recreation and resorting and people coming from the city to get away, that's a big deal. It's important to everybody that we have a cool place to get away from the urban, the grind, the dirty, and get to the clean. That's what the woods are. So they're also the place where we get that wood to build our houses, furniture, and structures, things that we need. It's habitat. If you're a Doug Tallamy fan, that's awesome. If you're not, I hope you get to be one. If you only got to get one book from this guy, he's written several. I've met him. He's just such a badass. The Nature of Oaks, get that. It's going to change the way you think about an oak tree. Animals live in the forest. We encroach on them. They're not encroaching on us because we're living where they do. Okay? So grab that book and think about the importance of the forest for other creatures, other beings besides us. All right, so those 4 common types of trees: conifers, pine, fir, they have the little needle things, deciduous, oak, maple, all those leaves that when they fall to the ground, leave them there. Leave them there, leave them there. That's where they belong. Don't rake them up, don't haul them to the landfill. Let them be. It feeds the soil. It again creates habitat for all those little critters. If your garden stinks in the summer and the spring, well, there was no habitat for those little creatures to live in that help support your garden. Pollinators and lots of creatures live in those leaves. So leave the leaves. And then broadleaf, they're the hardwoods also, wide leaves, often deciduous. And as mentioned, fruit trees. We don't have oranges here, but I've included oranges because it's a common essential oil, sniffy thing that we all recognize. So there's that. So aromatherapy, it is for me. I'm a simple person. I like things. I get the science. I love the science. I love to be in it. I love to absorb it. But when I'm talking to people about it, I like to keep it simple so that we all have a common understanding and understand that, you know, when you're using essential oils, that's great. But that's not all there is. There is aromatherapy in the flower that you pick, in the orange that you peel, in the woods that you walk through, your Christmas tree, all of those things. So you see some examples here: pine, fir, cedar, birch. These are all scents that I would offer in a live class. But for now, they're just some of my favorite trees. And you can see some quotes here. There's a paper uh, thing that goes with this presentation that I'll make available to folks. But anyway, cool trees. Moving on. Aromatherapy really is it's just using your nose. Okay, and there's lots of different ways to use it. So, and why aromatherapy is really cool, and why we are alike with trees. I mean, we both have a structure. Trees have limbs, branches, trunks. We have bones, different parts of us that keep us solid. We both grow, right? We age. Some slower, some quicker, but ideally all healthily and strongly. Cells the same way. We all have them. They do different things for us. They transport, they feed, they handle waste. Same thing with trees. We have skin. Trees have skin. You take all the bark off a tree, it dies. You take all the skin off a human, we die. Same thing. And as mentioned, the transport system. Maple syrup. That's we're drinking tree sap. That's what makes them live. Okay. So cool correlations there. And a few more. Respiration. We breathe. We exchange. What we breathe out, they're breathing in, vice versa. They're keeping the air clean. That's a big deal. People forget about that. That they don't forget. I gotta not say forget all the time, but I think they take for granted, or they just don't think about it. They're wrapped up in life. It's not a common thing. We take natural resources for granted. Everybody does. Even I do, and I think about it all the damn time. But really, you know, clean air, water. Holy cow! Let's work on that, friends. Anyway, so reproduction. We all reproduce. Some the long way, some the quick way, some the fun way, some the whatever way. We all do it. And adaptation. We adapt. Humans. We've adapted and made major changes, which has caused natural resources systems to change. We brought invasive species over. We've done some funky things. So, we adapt. Maybe not always for the best reasons, but we do. Okay. So, carrying on. Trees contribute to human health in a big way. Like I just said, air quality. Reducing stress. Remember at the beginning, that first slide, we're all in the woods, we're sniffing it, we're digging it. Ooh, we feel good. Okay. Physical health benefits. Nobody goes camping in the woods because it's not fun, right? We go there, we hike in, we put the stuff together, we're using our bodies, we're fishing, we're doing it. We go be in the river, enjoy the water, which leads right into mental health and emotional well being. Again, why do we go there? Because it makes us feel good. There's gobs of science on this. Google away. I invite you to do that and tell me about it. I love hearing from you. Okay, next one. Enhanced healing environments. The people in the hospital are going to get a lot better if there's a tree view out their window, or maybe even, I know you can't really do plants in rooms, but flowers, some life form that smells or that can be seen. It's a game changer in the brain. Just a game changer. Community building, urban trees in the city, man, it holds the heat down, keeps the shade, more habitat. Urban trees, always take care of those. If you're a city person listening to this, please, for the love of God, take care of those city trees. All right, biodiversity, we've talked about that. Different things: food, water, clean resources. Those are cool. And everybody, who doesn't want to go outside and do yoga or Tai Chi or even just laying around reading a book, right? Everything's better outdoors on a nice day. Cognitive benefits. Talk about kids playing outside. Man, the more we have them outside, the better it's going to be. The less screen time and the more outdoor time. I'm not going to get on a soapbox about that, but again, I invite everyone to Google that because less screen time, lots of not good happening there, and lots more awesomeness happening outdoors. So weigh the benefits and carry on. All right, whoops, hit the wrong button. Ooh, brain effect. So, this for children's sake, I've used oils and scents and everything on my son's brain since day one. Even when I was pregnant with him, I was doing all these cool things that I feel like is only a benefit. So, uh, using aromatherapy, we already mentioned this, it can change your mood. Um, the biggest story for me many, many years ago in Alaska, I was at a meeting and I hated it and I didn't want to be there. And I'm sure I didn't look like I wanted to be there. And the lady said to me, "Hey, take a whiff of this. Come on, you'll feel better." And I was like, kind of the demon turning my head, trying to blow her off. And she was persistent. God bless her. And I took a whiff and I crap you not, I from the side of one nose hole, I remember it distinctly. Smelling from my right, going to my left, from one nose to the other. I had whole nose hole to the other. I had changed my demeanor from the Grinch to like the happy Grinch. My heart grew. I was like, what the H just happened here? Okay. So that was the trigger for me. That made me go into the deep science of aromatherapy and all the cool things that occur from using your nose. So, memory and cognition, your kids are studying, you're preparing for a report. When you're preparing, be sniffing something. Basil is a really good thing for the brain to be smelling, not for pregnant folks necessarily. Uh, Caution there. All right, so safety, remember. Anyway, if you're smelling something when you're studying and later you go to review that stuff and smell the same scent, it helps you recall it better. Uh, it's common. A lot of realtors they'll put a apple pie candle in the house. New person walks in. Ooh, boy, that smells just like grandma's house. Okay, and then bing, they sell a house. So in Japan, they blow oil into the air to help calm people in hospitals. Uh, there's lots of reasons to use your nose in a good way. So this is on the slide. You can read a lot of that. I'm not going to go into deep detail, but just know this: it's immediate and instant effect in your brain when you use oils. So or your nose. Doesn't have to be an oil. Like I say, it can be an orange peel. Okay. Enjoying essential oils, like we were just saying, or I was just saying, directly inhaling, sniffing it right under your nose, like that gal in the picture there. Don't necessarily do that. That's a little too close. You want to keep it down a little bit below underneath your chin. Smell with both sides of the nose. One side's going to smell a little different than the other. Do that and tell me about it because uh, your sense of smell. Gosh, I don't know if I want to go into this in a short presentation. Okay, well, we're doing it. Your sense of smell, your nose is the only organ that doesn't kind of cross over, left, right, left. When you sniff on your right side or on your left side, it's going to go right to that side of the brain. So that's why I'm telling you, you're going to smell it on the left and it's going to smell different on the right. And then that's an indicator of certain things. So we'll talk about that in another lesson. All right, diffusers, that's blowing it into the air, squirting it into the air, like room sprays. Some people will use alcohol, which I think is a waste. Often I'll just mix it up with a little bit of water. Not overdoing it, like maybe a quart of water and 5 or 10 drops of a decent oil. And then just add more water to it. Don't spray it on your furniture. Don't spray it on things where it's going to get sunshine on it because some oils will, they're photosensitive. You don't want to bleach your furniture or, for God's sakes, your skin. We'll get into that in safety in a second. So uh, you can steam it. Lots of times I've run a hot sink water or a hot pan of water, put some eucalyptus or some pine needles in it. Don't forget that. Fresh is best, right? Pine needles, stick it in, towel over the head. Mmm, give that a shot. Doesn't have to be winter, it can be any time. You don't have to be sick to do any of these things. You can just do it because you want to feel good, right? Feel good. Feel good chemicals in the brain make the body function better. So for the 99,000th time in my life, use your nose. Use all of these things. You can massage it in. Oh my gosh, it's like the best. If you can get a massage with essential oil, life changing. Do it, do it, do it. Creams and lotions, this is a cautionary tale for many. Skin test, skin test. Try it. Don't buy the super cheap stuff because generally that is always going to be the super cheap stuff. And it's one, it's probably not going to work, or two, it's going to hurt you. So don't do it. Roll-on applicators, that's, those are cool too. I don't feel like they last as long in the long term, and if you're not using them up pretty quickly, whatever you're going to carry with it, sometimes it gets a little ranky. So, you know, make your own in small batches, I guess I would say. Some in the bathtub, that's super cool. Putting it on the after the bath is ran, maybe with some bubbles. Um, Stir it around before you get in. Compresses and spray, same thing. Test it, test it. I like a warm washcloth on the back of my neck with some lavender sometime. Real good. You can use oils for perfume. Throw all that perfume you got out. I don't care how much it costs. There's stuff cut with it that your body does not want on it. It doesn't want to smell it. It doesn't want to absorb it. It don't want nothing to do with it at all. So use a natural essential oil if you want to smell good. End of my soapbox there. Please, God, do that. And then the room sprays. Just a little water. Squirt, squirt. It's good. So how do we get these oils? They're distilled a number of different ways. They can be cold pressed, extracted, solvent, expression, CO2, effleurage. That's using a fat. So lots of different ways to make oil. You see in the picture here, that's a distiller, a small like home model. But some of these large companies, they use big ones. Some have horizontal vat, some have vertical. For me, I'm always going to roll with a vertical vat. It's just is better for the plant material and the oil that comes out. So safety first. Here we are. Always dilute it. Always test it. If you don't know, dilute it. Test it. Dilute it. Test it. Dilute it. Okay, like that. Test it. Dilute it. Keep your oil stored in a cool, dark place. Don't let the kids or pets get into them. That's probably another lesson we'll do someday. Pets and oils. You can use them. You can use them dumb. So just be careful there. Google it when in doubt. Keep them sealed. Um, Citrus oils, lemongrass. If you see lemongrass in a bug spray recipe, avoid it. That is like probably my number one pet peeve is lemongrass sprayed on the skin. When the sun hits you, you're gonna have blotchy skin. If you want that, cool, go for it. If you don't do it. That's annoys me. Anyway, don't ingest oils. That's like pro level stuff, and even then, it's not always necessary. Um, I have mixed feelings about people who do it, and I've done it. I'm not against it. I'm just against people who don't know jack telling other people to do it. Okay, so again, that's a Google and a real safety issue. If you're diffusing it, don't sit in the bathroom with the door shut with it. You want to cover a large area. You don't want to overwhelm yourself. Just make it nice and pleasant. And one of the cool things about diffusing, especially like when it's sick time, when the flu is going around, that's a good time for killing cooties. So that's one of my favorite times for in the air like that. Don't stick it on. Don't put oil in your eyes, your ears, your broken stuff, skin necessarily. Talk to a professional. I know a lot. I know another bunch of people that know a lot. You can use oils in a good way, easily, happily, funly. So don't be dissuaded by any of the safety stuff. Just know, like with anything, be careful. Use your sense. It's all good. All right. Oops, interesting resources. They're not showing up there. What's this one? Yeah, well, anyways, that's the end, essentially. So this is some contact info for me, email, phone number. Finishing it up and saying that I'm a naturopath doctor student going to school here in Michigan. I'll graduate in 2028. My day job, I work in conservation, so I'm all about the outdoors and caring for our natural resources. So you can contact me. I'll be doing more little lesson things like this likely, and appreciate your time. Have a good one. Use your nose.